Hey there guys, and welcome back. I hope you're all doing well today. Based on the title, you probably already know what this video is regarding, but I have finally made the decision to launch a Patreon page, and I'm going to go into some more info here in a second, but I just kind of want to throw this out there. I never really considered or seriously considered launching a Patreon page for really a long time. I never thought I would do it for a very long time, but I've had some circumstances change recently, both good and bad, that have kind of sparked me to get this going and see what happens and see what we can accomplish with this. So pretty much what Patreon is, just a brief explanation for anyone who's not familiar. Patreon is a way to support creators. It's not like Kickstarter. Kickstarter, you pledge a large amount once and then you're done. Patreon is kind of an ongoing thing of different pledge levels or support levels, whatever you find comfortable, if you choose to do so, as an ongoing per project or per month basis. And we'll get into that here in a little more in a second. But I just want to mention just once here at the start that this is not going to become any type of pay-to-watch or pay-to-play type of thing. I want to just make that clear for anyone who's concerned. All the content I'm currently doing, I'm still going to keep doing as long as I can, at least time-wise, regardless of the Patreon or not. So this is always going to be free. You shouldn't have to pay for this. I love doing it anyway, so I just want to make that clear for anyone who may be worried that the content that's going on the channel now and that will in the future it's going to be free. I mean, obviously you're never going to have to pay for it. This is kind of extra on top of that. If you want to support the channel and myself or get access to the rewards that these different pledge or support tiers offer, then do it for that. But this is not going to ever become a pay to watch type of thing. So let's get into it here. I'm going to hop over to the Patreon page and just kind of quickly go over a few things here. I do want to try to keep this video a bit short, but I just also want to delve in shortly to why I'm doing this. And I'm just going to be, I think it's important for something like this to just be honest. I could beat around the bush and make up stuff. I'm just going to be honest and be upfront about it. I think that is important for this. So we're going to hop over to the Patreon page here. And so what's happened, right? What's happened is two things, right? The first is I have realized over the last several months, I've been making videos consistently for a year or a little more, and it's been great. I've enjoyed every minute of it, but I've very recently realized over the last couple months how much I actually do enjoy it. There's never really been times where I didn't enjoy it, but I'm now realizing over the last couple months that this is what started as a hobby has now become a very intense and important passion. I really can't describe how much I enjoy doing this. Like, every day, every morning I wake up and I'm so excited to see the feedback on videos, see what people have to say, and do the videos and do the streams. It is truly a joy. And in thinking about that, it's something that I would really love to be able to do more, and just due simply to time constraints, due to having to go to work and do some other stuff, that I'm pretty much doing it as much as I possibly can right now. Like, it literally takes up pretty much all my extra time, which is fine because I absolutely love doing it. So I've recently realized that, if possible, this is something that would be amazing for me to be able to do more, even as a full-time thing. But then, kind of more on a serious note, I guess, is that I was recently notified about 2.5 weeks ago that the company I work for is going to be shutting down at the end of this December, so in a little over a month, and I will no longer have a job. Now, this presents kind of two choices, right? At the end of December, I'm going to have one of two choices to make, both very different and both have very different and impactful outcomes. The first is that I will either have to go job hunting for a job here locally, which, I mean, that's life. You know, I'm not saying like, oh, I don't want to go look for a job. That's, you know, if I have to, I have to. That's life, right? But this does come with a fairly big impact to the content and the channel and what I can do, because currently I'm very fortunate in the fact that the job I currently have is extremely flexible in regards to hours and work time, and that's kind of what's allowed me to do the type of stuff I'm doing now in regards to content. But it's very unlikely that another job I find will be like that, which means that the content will have to be cut way back probably, and changed in several ways as well, most likely. And if that's how it is, that's how it is, right? So there's one choice, and then the other choice is based on how things kind of progress here, and how things are looking near the end of December in regards to the Patreon and the channel in general, is I then have another path I could take of trying to pursue this as more of a full-time thing. And what does that mean for the content? That means it's pretty much the opposite impact of what the other option was, where there's more content, you know, not too much. I don't want to flood things. I know some people, you know, have a hard time keeping up with the content as it is, which is understandable, but more content, better, more varied things, as well as still continuing, of course, the Factorio stuff I'm doing now. More live streams. I will have time to do probably 4 or 5 live streams a week, opposed to the 2 that I do now, as well as several other projects that I'm really excited about that I would just have more time and flexibility to work on. So there's that. That's kind of my spiel for you guys, and just flat out the truth, honest, what's going on in my life and why I'm doing this now. Okay, so there's that. So Patreon, how this works is you either, if you want to support me and the channel and the content and such, this is the best way to do it. You know, watching the videos is obviously massive support. You know, I do get some revenue from YouTube ads. I'm not going to really go into that, but it's far less than you would think. But even just, you know, just watching the videos, commenting, it's just a joy to have you guys do that, right? Like I said, I just look forward to seeing the comments in people's slots every single day, and know that you guys are enjoying the content. That is a huge reward by itself. But if you want to do more, this is definitely the best way to do it. So there will obviously be a link in the description and probably somewhere on the screen some point during this video to come here, just Patreon/Xterminator5. And how Patreon works, just a little more, is that it's either project-based or monthly-based. So it would either be like, you know, someone pledges like $2 per project, like per video. That's kind of more oriented towards like maybe music creators or something like that. In our case, this is going to be a per month, just because the style of videos and content we have doesn't really work that well with the per project thing. So it's going to be per month. You know, just to clarify, you know, this is, as I said, per month. So it's not like Kickstarter where you just donate once and that's it. You know, it's every month, whatever you choose to donate is just kind of pre-charged there, whatever level you're comfortable with. So I'm not going to go through every one of these levels. There's some more information here, kind of what I previously said, plus some extra stuff. You can check out these goals over here. I'm not going to go through every reward. There's just a couple things I want to clarify. So the minimum thing here is $2 a month, which is like half of a Twitch subscription pretty much. And you get access to the Patreon feed, and then I just threw this in here. You know, if we ever meet in real life by some chance, I'll buy you a coffee, lunch, what have you, as a thank you. But primarily this is for the Patreon feed, and what the Patreon feed is it's obviously exclusive to Patreons, and this is where I will post more, you know, some more like of my real life stuff. You know, the Twitter is mostly just for like channel video updates. This is going to be more for kind of a little bit my real life stuff, but then also kind of spoilers or sneak peeks of content before other people would see it. I'll post that type of stuff here, as well as ideas I may have that, you know, I want some feedback on before I present it to everyone else. And then the Patreons can, you know, respond to that and see that first. So that's kind of what the Patreon feed is. And then, you know, a lot of this stuff, there's just explanations here, which is pretty straightforward. You know, this save games, just to clarify, this is all my save games. So a lot of the YouTube stuff, you have access to it ready, or at least you do at the end of the series. Some stuff I don't always have access to, so this would then grant access to that, but then also just any of my personal saves that like no one besides me has touched, and some of which no one's even seen before. That's kind of what this includes. And obviously, as I do more series and do more personal saves, they will be released as those come. And you know, this pretty self-explanatory. All the info is here, guys. And then this is just something I want to cover for clarity. So at this level, this behind the scenes planning and credit. So as it is now, and I plan to continue to do it this way, is I either come up with an idea myself or I put it out there to the channel community, as I have recently, for ideas on series or games or video types, and get feedback and then kind of go through all of it and, you know, and see what's viable and such. I'm still going to plan to do that, okay? I'm not going to be taking away from the community feedback. I don't feel like that's right. So I'm still going to do it that way. What this entails is, well, pretty much the behind the scenes things that currently I only do myself. So, you know, I will still put it out to the community if I have an idea, or if I just want ideas from you guys as a general channel community for videos and series types and stuff. And then that feedback I'll take, and instead of just me doing it, myself and people of this level or higher will get into a voice chat on Discord or text chat or both, and discuss it and go through it and be like, you know, this is viable, this is cool, what kind of tweaks can we make, what can we add, what should a schedule look like, stuff like that. So all this behind the scenes planning and tweaks and extra idea stuff that I currently do, this will now become something that I do with other people. And then also your name in the credits, like at the end of each video, I'll figure out a way to do that as well. So there's just kind of the deal there. I just wanted to clarify on that and just you know, kind of, you know, clarify that I'm not taking away from the community input in general. I don't think that's right. This is just kind of an extra thing that some people will have access to. And that is pretty much it. Just the very last quick thing I want to go over is just some numbers here. You know, a lot of people that I've seen, a lot of creators I've seen go over numbers in the sense of like, you know, $2 a month or whatever, you're paying like 0.0 of a cent for every minute or hour watched and stuff, which is cool. That kind of info is interesting and stuff. I don't like to look at it that way myself. I don't ever want to view it as you're paying to watch something, or that you're like making yourself feel less guilty or something because you're paying to watch. That's not how I want to look at it. The content should always be free. It is free. You're not paying to watch it. It'll be there regardless. I want to just look at the numbers in regards to what is required to reach these certain points, because when I was first thinking about it, I was like, you know, wow, this seems like a lot. Is this even possible? And I don't know. I mean, we'll see, right? But I kind of put it in perspective for myself by looking at it this way. I thought about it and I was like, okay, well, to be able to do this full time, I need X amount, and how many Patreons of which level and such would it take? And really looking at it that way, it wasn't as overwhelming as I thought. So pretty much the bare minimum I would need to be able to do this full time would be about this here, about 800-ish a month. That plus the ad revenue I do get would be enough to pretty much just allow me to do this full time. And I was thinking, you know, that's quite a bit, right? I mean, it is. But then I was thinking in terms of how many of each pledge level or what have you. Really all this would take, right, is 100 people. And I say this because Patreon does take a little bit of a cut, so you have to factor that in. But 100 people, which if we consider maybe there's 1,600 active viewers on the channel, you know, people who watch weekly or bi-weekly or what have you, fairly active viewers. If 100 of those people, if 1/15 of those people did this level right here, $9 a month, which is a couple cups of coffee or something, I could instantly be doing this full time and be doing more content for you guys and do all these other projects. That's all it would take, is 100 people. Or like 180 people at $5, a Twitch subscription. I mean, that's what it is. $5 is a Twitch subscription. $5, it would take maybe 180 people, which if we consider that maybe 200-300 people watch this video, that even if half those people, or a little more than half, depending on how many do watch, did this right here, I could be doing this full time and be doing more content, more streams, all that. You know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Again, that's life. But I want to throw this out here and see what we can achieve here. The community that has been created around this channel is absolutely amazing. I'm just blown away. Like, it is just an absolute joy to be part of this community we formed. You guys are awesome. It is such a pleasure to interact with you and respond to the comments and see the comments and talk with you on the Discord. And it's really, I can't even put it to words how amazing this is. And even if we don't achieve this, I will still do content as long as I can. And we will just see what happens. So there you go, guys. And if you're a little cautious or curious about the process, I just have a quick little walkthrough video here of just showing you the simple steps for joining or becoming a Patreon. It's pretty straightforward. So that'll do it, guys. If you have any questions or concerns or anything, leave them down in the comments. Or if it's something more personal, like a question or something you want to voice is more personal, probably the best way is to get onto the Discord, which is linked in all my video descriptions, and message me there. That's the most reliable. YouTube message is definitely not, because I don't get notified of those. But yeah, so anyway, thank you so much for everything. And even as things are now, that is more than I could really ask for, is just the community we formed already. So thank you so much, guys. And that'll do it for here. More videos, as always, continuing. And until next time, do take care, guys. And I look forward to seeing you all.